I changed this channel to Mindset Mastery is because the enemy have been trying to attack my mind since I was a little girl. When I was 16 years old, I was jumped and beaten and kicked in the head, and I had a concussion, causing me to be very forgetful. Then I was introduced into weed. I smoke weed like a chimney, okay? And that even did more damage to my mind, okay? Because I had a concussion. I was very forgetful on top of the weed smoking. I mean, that just completely just dangerously messed up my memory, okay? People used to talk bad about me and my family, talk about how forgetful I was. So the enemy kept playing off of that, playing off of how forgetful I was. I was raised by a mom who promoted fear. Everything was just fearful. She raised me in fear, okay? So I'm going to give you 5 ways the enemy try to attack you mentally, okay? And the reason why I'm basically making my channel out of a mindset mastery, because that is one of the ways the enemy tried to attack me, okay? And 9 times out of 10, the area of your life where God is trying to, where your gift is the area where the enemy is trying to attack you in. If the enemy is trying to attack your voice, then you were meant to use it. So understand that. Whatever area in your life the enemy is trying to attack you in, that's the area of your life that God is trying to use you in. Okay? The first way the enemy tried to attack you is through fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety. The enemy will control you through fear. He will try to control you through fear. Let me tell you something. He will get you to a point where you are so afraid you don't want to travel. You're scared to move out the country. You're scared to have children. Oh, I don't want to have children in this day and age. And if you have children, you raise them in fear. He'll have you so you don't want to start a business. He'll have you afraid to come out the house. He'll have you so fearful you don't want to explore anything. A lot of you haven't even explored just certain avenues of your life because you are scared. And as most people in our community, a lot of Black people are scared. A lot of Black people are scared to, do certain things. A lot of Black people are scared to travel. A lot of Black people, they hear things over on the news that a woman has been killed in Mexico. And, first thing they say, well, I ain't doing that. I ain't going to Mexico because, meanwhile, you have people going back and forth to different countries every single day. The enemy will stifle you. The enemy will stifle you. He will put fear in your mind and make you not want to move forward, make you not want to achieve anything. You know, I moved to Texas, and I was raised by a mother who put fear in me. Okay? So me moving to Texas by myself with my children, of course, but no one is there to Houston, Texas. I mean, I had people telling me Houston is one of the worst places you can ever live. Me and my kids, we were in Houston, and it wasn't that bad. The enemy will install fear in you. He will keep you from achieving your goals. Okay? That's number one. Number two, the second way the enemy tries to attack your mind is through distrust, and doubt. He will have you so you don't trust God. He will have you so you do not trust God, and you don't even believe God is able to bless you. What happens, and this is how it happened for me. I'm just going to tell you how it happened for me. I had a lot of people to let me down in my life. Like the enemy brought people in my life that disappointed me. They will tell me they're going to do something and they end up not doing it. Or, it started off with my dad. He was the first man to ever disappoint me. So he just won't there in my life. So that developed a distrust, right? And that started off in childhood. Then I kept meeting men and women who kept letting me down. Now, I reached a point where I was like, I can't trust nobody. I can't trust nobody. Like, everybody that I let in my life let me down. I can't trust nobody. Then that developed a distrust in my relationship with God because I related God to people. I related my relationship with God as if it was just like people, how people let me down, because the enemy will have you thinking the wait, when you're waiting for your blessings, and when you're waiting for promises to happen, and when you're waiting for things that come to pass, you are thinking that God is not going to do this. I'm being tricked. I'm being fooled, because you are thinking that God is just like everybody else. And let me tell you something, that is a trick from the enemy. God is not a God that he shall lie. Everything he say is true. Everything he speak comes to pass. In the beginning, he said it was so, and it happened. Everything God speak, he speak things into existence. He spoke you to existence. You are not a lie. You are here for a reason. Whether you know it or not, you just probably have to figure out what that reason is, but he spoke you into existence. Everything God speaks, it comes to pass. So you are to the only person you are to put your trust in is God. And I don't want to say person like God is a person, but you know what I mean. The devil try to give you the opposite of what is true. God answers are yes and amen. That means yes, you are healed. Yes, you will meet your spouse. Yes, you can start that business. It is yes. It is yes. You can trust God. Yes, you can trust God. If it doesn't, even when it doesn't work out, yes, you can trust Him. Yes, you can trust Him in hardship. Let me tell you something. I had a house fire. Well, it wasn't a complete total loss. My kitchen caught on fire, right? I accidentally left dang on grease on the stove and it caught fire. When it was all said and done, I looked at the kitchen. The kitchen was in total chaos, okay? It was fire extinguisher, dust everywhere. The cabinets was burnt up. The fire department took my stove out and threw that in front of, my house. The microwave was completely, they took the microwave out of the wall because my stove and my microwave, I was looking around, the floors was, every part of my house had dust and smoke and soot. And it happened on Halloween, this past Halloween. I asked God, I said, why did this happen? God, why did you allow this? So my neighbors, they came outside. It was the first time I met my neighbors. They came outside and they was like, everything okay? And I was like, yeah. They said, if you need anything, and I mean anything, you let me know. That was the first time I felt like so loved, and I don't know how long, people that you don't even know that are there for you are actually there for you, so that felt so good to know that I had people around me that was just so supportive. And they came out and I met every one of my neighbors that day. And I was in disarray. I was in shock. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, dang God, like what is going on Halloween? Is it the enemy? But let me tell you, everything, God, that was meant for the enemy, I'm telling you, listen to me. Everything that the enemy meant for bad, God will turn that thing around for your good. My landlord ended up remodeling my whole kitchen. They had a professional cleaning company to come out, remodel my whole kitchen, and she knocked $500 off of my rent. You know how much that put me ahead? Okay? So everything happens for a reason. You can trust God. And there was some things that I was trying to work out financially that month. God said, what I heard God in that moment after everything was said and done, He said, I had to set you back for a little bit, baby. But guess what? I'm going to bless you afterwards. I know the problems that you have in your life. I'm going to work them out through this. You have to trust God in every area of your life. The enemy tried to attack your trust in God. Okay? Number 3. The third thing that the enemy will do is he will have you distracted. Distracted. Now, what did that look like? What does distraction look like, right? He will have you so filled with drama, your life so filled with drama. He'll have you working. You tired. You come off to work, your kids worrying you to death, and you got to take them to their extracurriculum activities. Then after that, you have to do things with the church, or you have to do things, doctor's appointments. He will have your life so completely filled. You trying to start a business, he will have you, the enemy will have you distracted. Okay? He will put so many distractions in your life. I mean, back to back, back to back. You running here, running there, running. You don't get no break. You can't even hear from God. You can't even hear from God. And see, American culture, they promote this mess. They promote it. I mean, you watching a movie, right? Say you watching a movie and they show a man walking real fast down busy streets in New York City, talking on the phone, making a business deal. He look at his phone, somebody's on his other end. Man, I gotta call you back. I got somebody on the other end. They promote this busyness. They feel like your life have to be filled with so much. They very rare you see them promoting, a slow lifestyle where you are enjoying nature and you are taking the time to look at birds. You taking the time to look at animals. You taking the time to look at what God created, where you are at peace and there's quietness, is nothing but you can hear God speak. They don't promote that. No, they want you to be busy. They want you to be distracted. Distracted here, distracted there. Your phone distracting you. Every time you turn around, there's something going on. One thing, if it's not one thing, it's another. Distraction. Let me tell you another little story real quick. Was living with a family member years ago, and before I tell you that, I'm gonna stop. Sometimes it sounds so bad, right? But it sounds real bad. But sometimes God have to break your foot. Sometimes God have to cause a major health crisis just to sit you down. Just to sit your butt down. Just to sit you down in the house somewhere. He got to cause a major health crisis. He got to break your leg, break your foot in order just to sit you down so he can talk to you, so he can get your attention, so you can pay attention to him. Then you sit in the house and then now everything is, you can rest. You can rest. You can finally rest. People can finally take care of you. People can finally, you can finally clear your mind. You have to go through all of that. You have to be home with a broken foot, can't move, in order for him to get your attention. Ain't that sad? I was living with a family member and she fell down and broke her foot. That's when she found out that her husband was cheating on her. Many years ago. This was many years ago. I was like 19. That's when she found out her husband was cheating. Sometimes God have to sit you down so you can pay attention to what's going on in your life. He can't even talk to you. He can't even speak to you because you're so distracted. You're so distracted. You can't even pay attention to God. And all he wants you to do, you trying to figure everything out. You're trying to figure out, about your health. You got health problems. And all he's trying to do is get you to sit down so he can let you come up with a good healthy food diet regimen. He just want to talk to you. He just want to, allow you to get some of those problems solved. But you can't even hear him. The number one thing the enemy try to do is distract you. Because he don't want you to hear from God. He don't want you to get any resolution in your life. He wants you to be confused. He don't want you to solve things that's going on resolve things that's going on in your home, with your kids. He wants you to be so busy. Meanwhile, your child is going through something and you can't even see it because you're so busy. You so busy. You so distracted. Or you distracted in a relationship. It don't have to be you busy. You just distracted in a relationship. Some man, woman got you distracted. God is trying to get your attention. He's trying to show you signs so you can cut this joker off, cut this woman off that's distracting you, so he can get your attention so you can focus on something, the bigger picture. So the main way the enemy tried to attack your mind is through distraction. Through distraction. Was that the fourth? The fifth way the enemy will distract your mind is through deception and lies. Deception and lies. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Pica, or it could be pronounced pica, but it's an eating disorder where people, they indulge and consume non-food items. So you ever seen people that eat chalk? And they'll eat it and eat it and eat it. And they will consume it because they just have this overwhelming urge to consume this non-food item. They will eat. I've seen videos of people eating chalk. I've seen videos of people eating chalk and eating like baby powder. But they will eat this stuff knowing it's destroying their bodies. It's because the enemy have deceived them into thinking that it's acceptable. And he have deceived them into thinking that it's okay. Let me tell you something else that the enemy will deceive you. Porn. I was at a point in time where I used to watch porn too. But how he deceived me, he used to tell me in my mind, oh, porn ain't that bad because at least you ain't out there actually sleeping with the person. You keeping yourself safe and you ain't catching no diseases. It's normal to watch porn. Look how many people didn't watch this video. Over 2 million people didn't watch this video. It's normal. It's normal to watch porn. That's how the enemy deceive you. He will deceive you into thinking that sinful behavior is normal, regardless of what it's doing to you spiritually, physically sometimes. He'll make you feel like it's normal to do these things. Now, you can almost be, at a state in this thing. You can be deep in this thing. You can be addicted to porn. This porn can be destroying your relationships, and still the enemy will lie to you. You will have nothing behind this addiction, okay? It will make you lose everything, and the enemy will still lie to you and tell you that it's normal. It's normal. He will deceive you into thinking this is normal. Okay? And it gets deeper, and you will find yourself getting deeper and deeper and deeper into whatever you are indulging in. Because what he has to do, and what you'll end up doing is you'll end up disassociating yourself to who you are in order to get to do it. You have to lie to yourself. You have to disassociate yourself mentally in order to do it. Because when you disassociate yourself from you, God lives within you. the Holy Spirit resides within. So you basically have to disconnect yourself from God because God lives within. And if you, once you disconnect yourself from God, you disconnect yourself from love. That's why your relationships are, it start affecting your relationships, whatever you are indulging in. And that's why it start affecting, the things around you. Because God is love. Even the little love that you might have for yourself, you start developing self-hate. This is how the enemy deceive you. He deceives you mentally by making you think that whatever you are doing, whatever sinful behavior you're doing is acceptable. And it's okay. It's normal. He tried to normalize things. That's why you have so much confusion out in the world right now. Everybody confused. They're telling you that red is actually blue. Okay? So those are the 5 ways that the enemy tries to confuse you. Now, what do? And how do you defeat the enemy? First of all, you always have to defeat him with the truth and the word of God. Because the devil is a lie. He is a lie. He is the father of lies. He deceives you through lies. He will feed lies in your mind. He will lie to you. He'll feed your mind with lies. I was bullied. Remember I told you I was bullied as a child, right? So what the enemy did was, and what the enemy will do, he will plant a seed and water it. Okay? Basically, what he'll do is he'll tell you a thought in your mind and then send confirmation. Send confirmation. So this confirmation can look like maybe something on TV will confirm that lie. He'll send confirmation. And what this do, it's meant to so that seed can grow roots deep within, and it will cause a belief system so that it would affect your life. It would basically affect your life, because whatever you believe, it will come to life. It becomes realistic. You ever wonder how your mind is so powerful that you'll say, you can say something, you can say, well, all I do is attract men that lie and cheat on me. And all of a sudden you'll just start attracting men that lie and cheat on you. That's because the enemy has planted that in your mind, and he has sent confirmation. So what the enemy will do is he will lie to you and then send you confirmation to affirm that lie. Okay? So the enemy is a lie. You have to defeat the enemy with the truth. You cannot be deceived. Okay, people of God? So that's all I have for this evening. This video is getting a little long. So take what I said, man. Think about it. And defeat the enemy. Don't allow him to cause warfare on your mind, because that's his main goal, is to attack the mind. All right, you guys be blessed.